Welcome to another edition of Secrets from the Ancient Past. Today I'd like to show you what I think is one of the more intriguing passages in the Gospels, one that clearly states that some of the people following Jesus were women. Now that's really surprising to a lot of people who've only imagined or maybe seen the old paintings of Jesus with men as disciples, usually very old men, but always just men. But you'll find that women were often part of the traveling entourage with Jesus. And right there in the first few words of Luke chapter 8, we read this. After this, Jesus traveled about from one town and village to another, proclaiming the good news of the kingdom of God. The 12 were with him, and also some women who had been cured of evil spirits and diseases. Mary, called Magdalene, from whom 7 demons had come out, Joanna, the wife of Chuza, the manager of Herod's household, Susanna, and many others. These women were helping to support them out of their own means. Now, wait a minute. Just make sure you get that. Not only were women with the group following around with the men, some of those women were helping pay the expenses for Jesus and his band of disciples as they did what they did all over the region. You know, many scholars have speculated that Jesus may have met at least one of these women while he was a young carpenter working out of Nazareth. Her name was Joanna, and she was the wife of Chuza, the manager of Herod's household. There's a town called Sephoras not very far from Nazareth, only about 3 miles away. I've actually made the hike from the edge of Nazareth into this location. While you're doing that, it's easy to imagine Joseph, the husband of Mary, or Jesus, either one of them leading a donkey loaded down with building tools, going into Sephoras where there was a lot of construction work that needed to be done. Now here's the history. Sephoras had been destroyed in a short battle about the time Jesus was born. Herod Antipas, the new king of this region, decided to rebuild the town. He even called it the Ornament of Galilee. He saw the opportunity to take a destroyed city and rebuild it any way he liked. It would have taken many years to pull this off, but the town was rebuilt and it was impressive. It was a Roman-styled community. Archaeologists have uncovered a small Roman amphitheater there, wide Roman-style streets, and some amazing Mosaic tile work that once adorned some very nice homes. Now, Herod Antipas may have based his capital here in Sephoras before moving his royal residence to Tiberias around the year 20, about 7 years before the ministry of Jesus began. Now, this has led to kind of a logical conclusion that Herod Antipas and his household may have lived for some years in Sephoras. Wherever the household of Antipas was, that's where you would have found the manager of his household, a man named Chuza. Now, to be clear, we have no biblical record of Jesus ever visiting Sephoras or Tiberias, but both locations are very close to places where we know Jesus lived. In this logical equation, Jesus the carpenter was very close to Sephoras, very close to Tiberias, where construction projects would have required lots of carpenters. And somehow, Jesus met the wife of Chuza and made such a deep impression upon her that she later supported his ministry financially and even followed this amazing young teacher as he taught in the Galilee. Now, as for being a carpenter, there's another secret hidden in plain sight right here in the text. You and I usually think of carpenters as someone who works exclusively with wood. When we need brickwork or stonework done, we call on the expertise of brick masons or stonemasons. But for woodworking, well, we want a carpenter. But the primary building material in Israel then and now is not wood. It's stone. The word used to describe what Jesus did in the Bible was a tecton, carpenter. A tecton was a person who could work with all manner of building materials, including stone, iron, and of course, with wood. I can't help but wonder if Jesus was skilled in laying Mosaic tile. It was very popular among the wealthier homes of the day, and an artist laying Mosaic tile would have had plenty of time to have long conversation with the manager of a wealthy household or his wife. So maybe Jesus was a builder in Sephoras. Maybe he worked on Herod's new home in Tiberias. Or maybe Joanna, the wife of Chuza, simply was one of the thousands of people who heard Jesus preach and was profoundly changed. Maybe she or someone she loved was changed by a miracle. All we know for sure is that she was one of the regular followers of Jesus as he made his journeys throughout the region, and that she helped pay for his ministry. She financially supported him. She's one of several women who followed Jesus. Other women who followed Jesus, dare we call them disciples? Well, there was Mary Magdalene. She has a prominent role in the Gospels. Mary and Martha, the sisters of Lazarus, they supported Jesus and the disciples from Bethany near Jerusalem. The mother of James and John was with the group in Jericho, and it is unlikely that that's the only time she made such a trip, or that she was the only older woman watching out over the group. Here's the point. Anyone can follow Jesus. Anyone can be a disciple. Men, women, older people, younger people, me, and you. And I hope you are a disciple of Jesus. Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm looking forward to seeing you next time for another edition of Secrets from the Ancient Past. I'm Andy Cook.